now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, PoGo.
It's PoGo! PoGo! It's PoGo! PoGo! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! PoGo! PoGo.
Welcome to another episode of the PoGo. I am your host, Trainer Thatch, here today with my wonderful co-host. We've got the one and only Fluffiest Whimsicott.
Ciao.
And we've got Seth Vilo.
I'm going to say it backwards. Ouch.
Yeah.
Welcome to the PoGo, where we talk everything Pokemon, from the trading card game to the video game to everything in between. And we have a lot to talk about today. Maybe, I don't know.
Did anything happen this week in the world of Pokemon?
No.
I have no idea. I did my homework for this episode, I promise.
Woo!
Me too. A bit.
But yeah, we're here to give you another episode where we talk Pokemon today. Obviously, today we'll focus on the epilogue and the topic, but I mean, we've got other things to talk about, like how we're doing. Because I haven't done too much in terms of Pokemon, though I did finally actually sleeve up an IRL deck again. I haven't gone to locals, but I sleeved up a deck.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really bad. I want to play in the cards, but I honestly just don't want to go to locals.
That makes sense.
You know, I when I'm at locals, I'm having an okay time. It's also just partially a demographic thing too. Like the type of people that go to locals, at least in my area, are not people in they don't have the same job as I do, right? And it's a lot of younger kids. I say kids, but these people are 20, in their early 20s. Yeah, right.
Okay, but they are starting to be kids to us.
Yeah, yes.
Definitely to me.
And so, I mean, there's a generational divide there, okay?
Yeah.
These Gen Z kids showing up to my locals, I need more millennials to be there. Also, my friend circle's full. I don't have more room for Pokemon friends. I've got you guys.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, exactly.
Sense.
No, I mean, that's part of it too. I don't need to go make new Pokemon friends. I talk to people about Pokemon every week, it turns out.
Yeah.
Yep. Funny how that works out.
Yeah, isn't it?
Get your fix.
I do get my fix every week. It's a good time. But yeah, I did play on I played on my own time. I played the card game. I do want to try Azul's new Charizard list because I actually
Oh yeah.
So I'm not as into it as I was when we were going to regionals earlier this year, Seth, or I guess earlier last year.
Yeah.
But I'm not as into it, but I still go, oh man, this deck could use this or this, I think.
For sure.
And I actually was making the change. I made the change actually that Azul made for his deck list this past week.
Which one specifically? The double Super Rod 6 Fire or what?
Yeah, double Super Rod 6 Fire.
Yeah, that.
I've been playing that before. I've been playing that, and I was just yeah, that's exactly right. I'm happy to see that that's successful.
Yeah, I would just feel so risky. Just
it doesn't feel that risky. If you play enough Charizard with 7 energy, I don't know. You're never in a point where you need more than 5 energy. Very rarely you're at a point where you need more than 5 with Charizard EX, and that's what I have found playing the deck. And I was just I think you could probably cut out another one and get another Super Rod, because the number of times I've had a Super Rod prized when I've needed a Super Rod was I think higher than the number of times I needed 7 energy.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess that.
So I'm actually very much into I'm very much into that idea. I'm happy I was also playing that. So
you called it.
Yeah, I didn't call it, but it was one of those things as a casual, because that's what I am now. I'm a dirty casual. As a casual, feeling a little bit validated that my idea was good, right?
For sure.
And I got to stream this week, so that was a lot of fun. I was playing VGC. I'm actually really into this format.
Yeah?
This format's actually a lot of fun. I'm actually really into Regulation F.
Okay.
It's a good time. And it's starting to, the pieces are starting to click together again. The stream was a lot of fun because I'm still very low on the ladder on SCART. So like there's a lot of times where like I'll be yelling at myself because I'll have misclicked or something.
Oh yeah.
But then the opponent just like plays into the misclick accidentally.
Oh.
Ooh.
And it's just like, oh, well, I guess I won that. I guess I won. There was another misclick where I accidentally switched a Pokemon in, and I wasn't I didn't know it. I didn't mean to do that. And there's just like this is just like motor control issues, I guess, at this point. And I switched a Pokemon in that did not need to come in. There was no reason it should have ever come in. But I assume the switch just confused my opponent so much that I ended up winning the game. Because they're just like, why would this person do that? The positions are both very awkward right now. I don't know what to do.
That's really funny. That's really funny.
Yeah.
I recently read something. I don't know how old this was, so I don't know if this person is still the current like chess world champion. But this guy was like opening games with purposely bad openings because on that level, like it confuses the heck out of your opponent because they are so used to playing more by memorizing
the optimized path. Yeah.
They have schemes in their head, and when you go outside of that scheme on that level, it's so confusing that it throws your opponent just enough that you have more of a chance to win.
Yeah.
They're not even playing chess at that point. They're like playing chess lore in a way.
Chess 2.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, I mean, if you want to see more of that, you can go to twitch.tv/thepuclpodcast on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
What I want to do eventually, and I'll probably make, I want to prove to myself that I can stream every Wednesday in January before I make this claim, but I want to do an egg lock on stream of Pokemon Violet with like all the DLC.
yeah.
Ooh, okay.
So, I want people to get hyped and ready for that.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah. What about you guys? You guys been up to anything? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I always do this. I accidentally control the conversation just because like I have something excited that I want to talk about. So
Well, it's okay.
it's
I haven't
fun.
talked to you since last year. I'm catching up.
Oh.
yeah, we've never not voice to voice, but maybe like in text.
Well, I guess I'll go. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Whimsicott. We'll
anybody
claim
go.
it here. Go ahead.
So, well, I've played the epilogue.
So did I.
All the way through?
Yes. Yes, all the
It's
way
not
through.
that long.
Okay.
It's not that long.
It's not, but I wanted to check. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
And
that
I also found out that this game really, really, really doesn't like you not having friends. Because, so I haven't been hanging out in Puckle much lately, which is very sad, and I should fix that. Which means that I haven't been doing group quests. I only did them like once, where I spent like, I don't know how many hours, but a significant amount of hours hanging out with two people that I know and doing group quests.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I go to Mr. Snacksworth and I'm like, okay, you wanted me to do a group quest. I've done many of them because I spent so many hours. They're still not enough. I'm still missing snacks for the legendaries.
No.
And I'm like, dude, first the Finizen thing and now this? Like, are people not authorized to be loners anymore? What is going on?
It does feel like a little bit Pokemon Go-esque though, doesn't it? Like just like
Kinda,
a little
yeah.
bit.
Like, I should have an option to buy the game, play it offline, and have everything in the game.
I mean, you could. It just will. Oh, no, group quest specifically.
No. No, like-
okay,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't evolve my Finizen, and I can't catch all the legendaries unless I have people to
Fair,
play with online.
you can't also do like trait evolutions, right?
Yeah, exactly. There are a few that are missing. Like in Sword and Shield, most of them I think you could catch in the wild area.
Yeah, the other ones I do think you can get in raids. You can get most of them
Yeah,
in
you
raids.
can get them in raids, but you have to get lucky with the raids.
Yes, you do.
So
Absolutely. I mean, you could kind of go and try to join people's raids that might have them, but
again, you need to go online for that.
that's true. That's true. The other thing that the one that really bugs me is like Walking Wake and Iron Leaves. That one bugs me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't completed my Pokédex because I still haven't like worked up the courage to ask someone, "Oh, can I touch trade your other two Parox legends?"
Yeah, yeah.
I should do that as well.
Thankfully, I have the built-in friend in my wife. So
Yeah, exactly. Like these two friends that I played with, they were so nice because they're partners. They live together.
Yeah.
And they already have the 2 versions of the game, but they hung out with me just so that I could, get points to unlock the biomes and all that. But yeah, I have a built-in community right here in Puckle. I should
no, we should
drop
utilize
in more.
No, we absolutely need to do that. We should set up like nights for that or something.
Oh yeah, or afternoons.
Afternoons for Europe. Yeah. What about you, Seth? Anything cool, crazy?
Nothing cool, crazy overall. I got through the epilogue as well, and I've just been figuring out and practicing for Charlotte. That's next weekend.
It's next weekend? That's so soon.
And then 2 weeks after that is Knoxville, which I'm also in. So yeah, and I'm thinking of embracing the dark side.
What are you going to play?
I am very much leaning towards Snorlax Control.
Oh, that sounds like you. It's actually it's kind of fun to play on ladder because people will just rage quit after a while.
Honestly, I've heard of and seen people rage quit in real life too.
Oh.
So
that's even better. I have played that deck online.
Yeah.
I feel awful when I do it, but
I don't. That's the scary part. The sadistic glee that fills me when I've got someone in the lock. It makes me realize maybe I should have been playing this all along.
Yeah, it's a deck for sure. A deck, a good one, probably. Actually, it does really well. It does perform very well
if you know how to do it and can get out of people trying to get out of your lock. It's been fun, but that's one I'm looking at. The other ones are like Roaring Moon, maybe Golden Go. Now that people are starting to figure out how to run it.
Yeah, I think Golden Go has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
More so after rotation as well.
Agreed, yeah. When Path is gone.
I'm very excited for post-rotation. Yeah. I think post-rotation is going to change up a lot of things.
Yep. But that's all I've been doing is practicing for that whole mess because I'm still very much in there. And one of these days I'll make day 2, dang it.
Yeah, one day.
Then I can actually talk like I'm somewhat qualified to have opinions about the card game.
I feel like you can have opinions about it and not make day 2 because I think there's slightly different skills.
I know, but I feel like an imposter when I do.
I think being able to play the card game and performing well at tournaments are 2 different skills.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the TCG, I don't know if I can say the same about the VGC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fair.
No, I think there's a point to be made for both of those. One thing is knowing how it works, and one thing is managing to keep the concentration for so many games in a row on the same day. I think there's also a confidence thing too, right? Because there's a lot of people that do this way more hardcore than us, right? In terms of the TCG, you've got people like Azul or Shemansky. You've got all these people who are big names who are there, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say you get set up against, this is definitely an issue for me when I play a TCG because I go, oh, this person probably knows more about it than I do, which is a bad assumption for myself to make. Mm-hmm.
If just because they have more tournament experience that they're automatically better, right? They could just be not as financially responsible as I am or something, and decide to go to all these regionals.
Yeah. But see, the way I see this is Pokemon is not Call of Duty. So yes. The roof at which the skill tableaus out in a way is lower. So maybe say I cannot go up against, I don't know, Wolf Click or Aaron Zhang in a VGC game and win, but there is going to be a point in which even if they know 700 times as much as I do, there's still a limited number of moves that can be the right ones.
That's true.
In that circumstance. Yeah. So they can be 700 times better than me, but only play 10 times as better at me because the game just doesn't allow you to go 700 times above someone else because
I agree
it has limited options.
Mm-hmm. I do agree with that.
It's not like it's an even playing field, but it's a game that is simple enough, even though it's not very simple at all. It's simple enough that you can still play against someone who is much better than you and, first of all, have a decent time. And second, have at least a chance, especially since a Pokemon also has like a luck element to it.
It does.
At least have a chance. So you should never, in my opinion, go into a game saying, oh, this person is so much better than me. Like, I won't even try because it's obvious that I'll lose, you know? Worst case scenario, you learn something from them if you actually try and observe what they do against you trying your best. So
you're correct. I'm going to cut us off here, though, so that we don't keep going.
Oh, yeah, this is a long intro.
I mean, we already had the pre-show warm-up that was about 30 minutes long.
Yeah, we just can't shut up around each other.
Yeah, we should have recorded that bit. That was a pretty good bit, honestly.
That was kind of a fun bit.
But either way, we're going to go ahead and we're going to kick it on over to our news segment. So let's cue that epic music.
Town Radio Tower. This just in.
Welcome to the news. There's a good bit of news, actually, to talk about. First of all, general Pokemon news. Pokemon TV is going down, apparently. You can no longer download Pokemon TV, the app. And if you own the app and have it downloaded, it's going to shut down on March 28th. I'm actually kind of confused by this. And shocked, though I believe in the press release the language they used did hint that something might be following it.
Yeah, that's what
as a replacement.
Some Twitter folks said.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I mean, the Pokemon TV app is actually like very nice to have in terms of like historically having the anime episodes. And they had somebody that was doing a great job like cultivating episodes in like batches for you as well. That would be like, oh hey, it's Halloween. Here's some episodes.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So I do appreciate that. R.I.P. Pokemon TV. I can't wait to see your successor. The new anime premiere got delayed in the U.S. by another 2 weeks. So now it doesn't start until March 7th. Woo. Why that?
Pokemon anime? What?
Yeah, Pokemon Horizon. This is like almost a year now. Like we're almost a year behind from the Japanese release. Like almost an entire year.
Like you could argue we're done with Gen 9 now. And
you almost could,
get
yes.
the anime.
Yeah, right.
What the heck?
Right. I'm amazed that we're getting the anime
company.
Yeah. I can't believe that we're just getting the anime for this like a year and a half after the game.
Yeah.
Like that's insane to me.
It's starting to be like very delayed.
It's very, very delayed. I don't know why it's so delayed either, which is confusing to me. Like I don't know why.
I don't know either.
Because the episodes exist. Like
you mean why is it delayed in the US? I was talking about the fact that it also didn't start in Japan until a good bit after Scarlet and Violet came out.
I think there was probably I think there was a discussion probably somewhere the year before, like during 2022 when Scarlet and Violet came out. I think there was probably a discussion about, hey, do we just like start fresh again instead of like doing something with Ash? I wonder if that was when the discussion happened and then they finished it. Yeah.
Dragged on, and then they had to give Ash a proper send-off and all that, and it took time. Okay, I see it.
Because like if you think about like there were 11 episodes right at the end, or 12-ish episodes at the end, and they had to give him a proper send-off. That's 3 months right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's 3 months of episodes that they had to make just to give Ash a proper send-off. And I don't know, like I really want to watch this. And the English episodes do exist because they're showing them internationally, like in Canada, and the UK has it. So like the episodes exist. It's not like they're like, oh, we haven't dubbed it yet. Let us finish.
What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so amused by the fact that you guys are so used to getting things first. That this is weird to you.
This is so I mean, we are a large market, so that's why I'm confused. Like,
I know.
That's why I'm confused.
But it's just funny for me because I grew up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Literally everything I got like a year after the US or more.
Yeah.
So
this
is actually funny.
This is just like this. I mean, like in this day and age, like it's very confusing to me why we're not even just getting a simulcast in general, but like it's fine.
Maybe a simulcast, maybe not, but yeah.
With a sub, like if we could have gotten a proper sub, I would be happy. You know what I mean?
No, I just think it's not the kind of anime that you market with a sub because it's for kids.
Exactly.
Oh, of course,
that's what I was going to say too. And it's that part is confusing because like the Charizard will come out and instead of saying Zard, 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 it'll say Lizardon, Lizardon, Lizard.
Yeah, that too.
That's true. That's true.
That's a factor that I think makes Pokemon specifically not that great for simulcast because the creatures and sounds.
You're correct. Yeah, it's honestly, it's the biggest turnoff for me when I go to Japan, buying Japanese merch for Pokemon is if it has the Pokemon's name on it. I just will not buy it. Like
because it doesn't feel right. It's not.
No,
like
it's not right.
to.
It's not unless it's like one of the Pokemon that like accidentally overlaps, right?
Yeah,
like the legendaries and
like some of the legendaries overlap and stuff like that. So yeah, unless it overlaps though, I will not buy it.
The weekends for the online VGC tournaments that give you championship points, and they are usually used as Japan's national qualifiers. They have been announced, and they will be the first weekend of February, the first weekend of March, and the last weekend of March.
Woo!
Then we have a flying type 7-star raid for Blaziken, which is running this weekend as we're recording, and is going to rerun this weekend as you're listening. Yeah. And it's not very hard to solo, especially if you get an Intimidate partner in your random group of trainers. You can maybe do this with Rotom Wash or Bellybolt. And alongside it are also Blissey raids for people who need, EXP candy and Terra shards and stuff like that. And also, an update on the Poke prediction from a couple of weeks ago. A Stellar Urshifu did make it to top 8 in Portland.
Yay.
So
I feel
not at all what we thought.
I mean, I guess that's fine. Like, it has to be a Pokemon that's just going to tear into one of its types anyway. That's going to do it. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, I have to do this next part. This is Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Chansey Community Day is February 4th. And a reminder that Porygon rerun is this upcoming Saturday on the 20th of January. So go get those Chanseys and those Porygons. The Raging Battles event starts on the 19th of January. It adds Annihilate into the game. The evolution condition is defeating 30 Ghost/Psychic type Pokemon as your buddy. If you're desperate, Blanche's Master Ball rank team has a Metagross, so you can do that. GoFest is confirmed adding Origin Form Palkia and Dialga, as well as White Stripe Basculin, which won't be able to evolve. For the cost of candy plus Stardust, Origin Dialga will have the ability to freeze item timers like Lucky Eggs, and Origin Palkia will be able to increase the radius you can catch Pokemon. I hate this.
Okay, that's cute.
It's cute
that's
and I hate it.
Cute.
It's cute and I hate it.
That's super interesting as a concept, though.
I love that we're getting all of this Legends Arceus content and Go 2 years later.
Right.
As always.
Gen 8 crying.
Yeah, I love how much they just shafted Gen 8 in Pokemon Go. It's hilarious. Like, I really don't understand Pokemon Go or its business model currently. I just don't understand it. But I mean, this is interesting. Like, this has me interested, and I might go play for that, in all honesty. I might go play. I do typically play in GoFest anyway every year, just because it's in the summer when I will play Pokemon Go. Because, I mean, right now it's literally like snowing incredibly hard outside, and it is 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So I will go not play Pokemon Go right now. It's very cold. Welcome to winter in the Midwest. So, yeah. So moving on then, we've got some TCG news for
Heck
Seth.
Yeah. You betcha. So first of all, the next big set was announced, and that is Temporal Forces. It's officially coming out March 22nd, and that's the cool one where they're finally giving us the ace specs that they teased at the Worlds last year. We know there's, I think, going to be 6 total or so. I think we've seen them all now.
I think we have seen at least close to 6, if not 5.
There's
I
energy,
can think of 5.
There's the energy, there's the Master Ball, there's the Guzma item.
The Guzma item, yeah. The one that everybody's going to run, plus 5 more.
Yeah. And then there's 3 more that were revealed over the course of this week, because we know when the set comes out in Japan, we start translating it immediately.
Yes.
Doing that sort of thing. There's a hero's cape, which is a tool that just gives whatever it has a extra 100 HP, no condition, no rule.
So it's essentially that. What's the cape called that we have now?
Luxurious cape.
Luxurious cape. Yeah. So it's essentially that, but without the
no rule box and extra prize.
Yeah.
Then there's a couple that are future and past. There's Reboot Bot. That's the future one, and it lets you attach an energy card from your discard to each of your future Pokemon.
I'm actually kind of into that one. That one sounds interesting.
That one's
to me.
hype. Yeah,
like that one you might want to run over Guzma or whatever it is.
Yeah, if you have a heavily future deck.
Yeah,
totally.
And I actually really like seeing because they also drop just like more future and ancient support in the next sets too.
Yeah,
which
there's a ton of the Pokemon.
I'm very happy about because I felt like battle styles like dropped the rapid strike stuff, and then after fusion strike they're just like no more.
And we're done. Yeah, exactly.
And we're done. Yeah, exactly. So I'm kind of hoping that they if they keep this up, it'll be really fun.
This is basically the set after Paradox, so it's still kind of following in line. I doubt we'll get much more after this, very honestly, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But the other ace spec is Drum of Awakening, which is the ancient one. That one is draw a card for each ancient Pokemon you have in play. It's an item, so it could be a draw 6 item. Crazy. And then finally, for TCG things, we also have a firm date now for rotation, which will be April 5th. That is when rotation occurs, and everything from E-Block and earlier will not be legal for standard anymore. So F to, I guess this next one will be I, right?
Yeah, no, we're in H. We're in H block.
H block, pardon me. Yeah, so this Temporal Forces will be the start of H block, and then it pushes out E-Block. And they also said in the announcement that going forward, it won't be like date-oriented anymore. Rotation won't be.
Mm-hmm.
It will be based on when the next letter block begins. So when we get I-Block in, a year-ish, once that is legal for tournament play, 2 weeks after its release, then
F block
will rotate out.
Yep.
So that is how rotation will work going forward, which is kind of cool. And for those who are also curious what the next event is after rotation, April 5th is the day of EUIC. So
I think they do that on purpose. They do that on purpose.
That'll be the first day that this rotation is happening, and I'm wondering how many people will accidentally bring a Battle VIP Pass in their deck and have to be replacing it for basic energy. But, yep. That's fun. I'm real excited for rotation, especially with all the stuff that's been announced that's coming out in the Temporal Forces stuff for us. And it'll be a great time. And goodbye, Battle VIP Pass, and goodbye, Mew VMAX. We won't miss you.
All right. To finish things up, we've got a new Puckle survey up. I am doing a thing where if we hit 300 responses, which is pretty close to what we got last year, we'll give away a Puckle t-shirt for the Patreon when the new structure with all the merch and everything. Also, I've noticed not a lot of people are getting there. I don't know if there's a difficulty getting in the show notes or anything, so it is on Discord as well if you need to get it. I'm going to make a midway goal as well now, I've decided. If we get 150 responses, I will do a lecture on Power Rangers, the history of Power Rangers on Twitch.
Yes.
The number of people that have asked for this is like very high. I will give a lecture on the history of Power Rangers.
It's almost like our listeners love hearing people talk about stuff that they're passionate about.
Yeah, and we have a whole show about this on Patreon apparently. So I will do an entire lecture on the history of Power Rangers on Twitch. I'll do it live with like visuals, and we'll probably upload it to YouTube, and I might just take the audio and also upload it to the feed as well. But we really could use your feedback. We really appreciate it. I think right now we're sitting just above like 60 responses or something like that. We typically do hit about 300 every year. So if you could go ahead and hit that and do the survey, it really helps us improve the show. I am trying to take the feedback and do well with it so we can make sure that we're making something that's productive and something that you guys actually want to listen to. So make the show the way you want to make it, and let us know. So moving on then, Puckle's Pokey opinion. Darkrai was banned in OU and is causing
No.
Darkrai's in OU and is causing an uptick in hypnosis, triggering discussion about the sleep condition and Smogon sleep clause. What are your thoughts on the sleep status effect? I don't think sleep is as bad as it used to be anymore. In all honesty, because of they refreshed the way the mechanic works in Gen 8, I think. Actually,
it keeps the count or something like that.
It keeps the count, but it's also like max 3 turns now.
Yeah, instead of 5.
Yeah, it used to be max 5 turns, which was insane.
Yeah,
I still think even with this update, we still need a sleep clause, simply because there are moves that are guaranteed to put you to sleep, and while most of them are on slow Pokemon, there are a few Pokemon that can either get Spore or,
Yeah.
There are ways to make it so that without the sleep clause, you can make your opponent not lose, but unable to play the game, which is just not fun. So
no, sleep clause is where it's at. Sleep clause is where it's at. Yeah, I agree with you.
I haven't been paying too much attention to this thing on Smogon that's been kind of popping up. And Darkrai is for sure one of the big causes for it, because it puts something to sleep. It has the ability that also does weird things, and then it goes absolutely nuts with nasty plot, pop everything. But that's prompted this discussion, and it's people are looking at it. Is it a Darkrai thing, or is it its ability to really abuse sleep? And is sleep fair? And the other argument that I'm seeing, somewhat frequently in this is, what is sleep clause? It's something that we made up that is not anymore reproducible on cart. So it's something specifically to us that
but again,
prevents something from working in the game as it should.
The whole point of Smogon is to find a way to play that is balanced enough to keep the fun. So
they're having a very hard time doing that right now. The power creep in Gen 9 specifically was really bad, in my opinion.
It's been good. Honestly, it's been pretty balanced with DLC 2. DLC 1, nuts. But DLC 2, a lot of things, there's nothing egregiously outlying right now, which is why something like this discussion about is sleep something we need to take a glance at, able to manifest, is because there's no monster that needs to be dealt with.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Well, that sounds fun. On that note, then, we're going to stop it here, and we're going to go ahead and kick it on over to our Poke Quiz, where we're going to quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Oh, hi, and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz our co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Mark from the Dunsparce Gang, here to explain the rules. Our fabulous co-hosts will work as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that fans have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The host can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct and do not use the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
Welcome to Poke Quiz. Thank you for that introduction. We're going to get right on to it. Our first question this week is going to come, I believe, from Malt Coffee. Okay, I'm going to let you guys try it. Great.
Gosh.
The other one was brought to you by Liger, so I didn't want to give him too many questions, but all right, this one is from Malt Coffee. In Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which Pokemon is the logo for the janitor class? The logo is on the left side chest of their uniform.
Excuse me?
What?
In Scarlet and Violet, the janitor class on their shirt?
Yes, they do. I can tell you this is a Gen 9 Pokemon.
Okay.
And it is if I say it, you might give it away. It's a Gen 9. I feel like Gen 9 water type Pokemon because it's a janitor, right?
Okay, yeah. I was going to think it would be hilariously ironic if it was Grafai.
That would actually be pretty good.
It would be really funny. It's like, we made a logo for the stuff we clean the most of.
The problem with this question is that most of us cleared the game, and thus the trainers in it, like 2 years ago. So.
I still haven't clicked. I still haven't battled like 80% of the trainers.
Oh, 1000%.
Okay.
I'm in the same boat as Seth.
I'm so happy that I don't have to battle trainers anymore, and I could just do my own thing. That's one thing I love about Scarlet Violet. Maybe I'm not. It's weird because it's like you're playing Pokemon, so you play less Pokemon. It's so stupid.
In my egg lock, my intent is to go and fight every trainer. That's my intent.
That makes sense. Yeah. But this question, why
yes.
I'm getting Finizen. I don't think that's right, but it's an option. What are their Gen 9 waters?
Well, there are not that many. It's
right.
Like Finizen and Wiglet and the starter.
And the fish that fillets itself.
Yeah.
Veluza.
And then, Tatsugiri is in Dondozo, but...
Yeah.
But those are more like for the food service industry, I would believe.
Yeah, especially now. Oh my gosh, I saw the banners at San Antonio, and they have Dondozo with its tongue out. Oh. And did you know that the bottom of Dondozo's tongue has little table legs?
Yes.
Oh, I never noticed that.
They had the big old Dondozo on a banner sticking its tongue out, and it's straight up just like a sushi board. It was the most horrified I've ever looked at a picture, I think.
Wow.
It was horrible.
Wow.
But anyway, this question.
So I think our best options are Wiglet and Finizen. And if you like the Finizen option, especially because honestly, sanitation workers are kind of heroes of our society.
They're kind of heroes, yeah, right?
Yeah.
It feels like a vibe
it feels
I could dig. Okay.
I like that answer in spirit, even if it's not correct.
Let's go with it because it should be right. Finizen.
Yes.
Finizen is correct.
Yes!
It is Finizen. It's a Finizen with a mop in its mouth, specifically.
Yes!
Nice.
Perfect! Such a good boy!
All right, well, that's 1 for 1. You've got a new question this week. It's going to be from Totes McCrae. Based on Pokedex entries, what is the only Pokemon capable of de-evolution?
Ooh, it's
Slowbro.
Yeah, Slowbro. Because if the Shelter comes off, it becomes Slowpoke again.
Yeah.
Is that your answer, Slowbro?
Yeah.
Slowbro is correct.
Yeah. I like how we both knew that immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, your next question is going to come to you from Zachary. Its Ultra Sun entry reads, the reason it guides people all the way down to the mountain's base is that it wants them to hurry up and leave. Who's that Pokemon?
Well, it's not Frostlass because you're not part of its trophy garden.
It wants them to die. I think it might be something like, I don't know, Alola Ninetales or...
Maybe. Like bringing in the regular Ninetales kind of curse aspect.
Yeah. What other like ice types?
Yeah, spooky mountain ice type. Get out of my property.
Yeah.
What's the most old man on front yard ice type Pokemon in the mountains that you can think of? Here's the exit. Go away now. Get out of my mountain. I mean, Alola Ninetales is a pretty good one.
Yeah, but there are also, like, I immediately when he said, like, it's a Gen 7 entry, but it might not be a Gen 7 Pokemon, so...
That's true, yeah, I didn't even account for the game, okay.
Although, the Pokemon are very much like, okay, I will help you, but because Articuno also does something like that, like guiding lost people in the mountains, but I don't remember Articuno being that, not very social.
Yeah, it hides more than just guides.
I don't know, just...
I'm comfortable with Alola Ninetales if we want to try it.
Yeah, we can try.
Alola Ninetales is correct.
What are we on? What are we doing?
That is correct.
It's one of my favorite Pokemon. So.
I do love that it just leads them down to their base because it just wants them to hurry up and go away.
I always considered Ninetales a very passive-aggressive Pokemon, so the Alolan being basically the same is perfect.
The second entry.
Yes, I am very beautiful. Get the heck out of here.
All right, touch my tail. Do it. You're cursed for 1,000 years. Dumb.
The second entry was going to be from Pokemon Sword, and it says, a deity resides in the snowy mountains where this Pokemon lives. In ancient times, it was worshipped as that deity's incarnation.
Well,
Interesting.
they are very beautiful.
Yes. So there are, this is your multi-answer question as always. You guys are 4 for 3. So you guys get up to 2 points here. I am going to make it a little bit hard on you. There are 8 answers to this question. You can get up to 2 points. I'm going to only make you guys go up to, I'm only going to need 3 answers per point. The other 2 are for bragging rights. So this is from Farmer Fox. What are the 8 pure rock type evolutionary lines?
8 pure rock type evolution.
okay.
Is that like saying the line retains pure rock the whole time?
Yes, it never gets a second typing.
Okay, the Rock and Roller line, Stone
That is
Journer,
correct. That is also correct. That is 2.
and then let's see.
I'm writing them down too, just so I don't forget.
Okay, good idea. Okay.
Not Minior, not
No.
Nose Pass,
Well, no.
because it turns steel.
Let me think. They're
Rampardos,
this
right?
Rampardos. Yeah, they stay pure rock.
It does. That is correct. That's 3. That gives you your first point.
Okay,
Yeet.
There are 5 more.
Garganical,
right.
the whole Knackley line.
Yes.
That is 4.
Even though its alternate type is perfect. It is rock/perfect type.
That is 4 for you right there.
Okay. This is surprisingly
Right?
difficult.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Are there any just like single stage rocks?
Yeah, I was
that
thinking
we're
there's
forgetting?
probably a couple of those at least.
You got the
Because
Stone Journer.
What you would think is like, oh gosh.
I'm
There's
surprised
only
you're
1,000
missing
of
some
these
of these. I'm surprised you're actually missing some of these.
I bet they're very obvious to you while looking at the list.
That's true, but like
No.
these
No,
are
I
ones
know,
that
I
I would
know.
think about. These are ones I would think about.
Yeah, that's fair.
For me, it's just like, oh yeah, oh no, the Onyx has a ground. Oh,
Yeah.
Pupitar.
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
no, that's a ground.
Nope.
So,
Nope. Yeah, I keep thinking of dual types as well.
yeah,
Okay. It's just I don't like the rock type very much.
Same.
This is difficult for me.
it took me forever before one could actually be on my chart.
You do have the
Yeah.
hint, but then you would lose out since you're doing so
Exactly.
hot.
But we might as well take another 10 seconds and see
Yeah.
if we can come up with
No,
them.
you can have more than 10 if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
There's no legend that's a like rock.
no, I don't think so. And
That's
no
not a pure
mythical
one.
either, I don't think.
No.
Okay, so let's try and think about locations where
Yeah.
one might find a pure rock type Pokemon, such as a cave, a mountain.
Mm-hmm. A canyon,
so-
maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that got us farther. that was productive. People are screaming at the radio right now.
Probably. I keep thinking of dual types. Dang
Uh-huh.
it.
Is there any other fossil that stays rock? Not the Gen 1 ones. Gen 2 didn't have any. Gen 3 had Cradily
Bug
and Armaldo.
Regress, so no.
4
other is
Rampardos
Steel.
Bastiodon. 5
Karakosta is
Archeops.
water. Archeops is
Yep.
flying. Gen 6 had none.
And 7 didn't have it. We haven't had fossils a lot recently.
Well,
in recent
we
years.
have the ones in
horrible
Gen 8, but
ones.
they're not rock types.
Exactly. Which I kind of dig. I never liked that fossils resurrected Pokemon had to always be part rock. It felt weird.
Oh, Sudowoodo, the Sudowoodo line.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Sudowoodo line is number 5. There are 3
We're only
more.
just missing one, right?
There are 3
There are
more.
3 more.
You only need 1 more
And if
for
we
the
get
point,
one,
though.
we get the points.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Ugh.
Okay.
Are there any other path blockers? Like, no, Roggenrola was the...
We've mentioned.
Yeah, we've mentioned that one. Any other, like, sandy boys that like being in the... Oh, dog. Werewolf dog thing.
Oh, yeah,
Lycanroc.
Lycanroc. there you
Lycanroc
go.
is correct. The ones you were missing here were... So you got 2 points, obviously. But the ones you were missing were Regirock
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
and,
yeah, fair.
and Cloth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You guys are sitting here talking about mountains and canyons, and I'm just sitting here thinking about the giant cloth on the side of the mountain in the canyon.
Yeah.
It's because in my head, cloth is like surimi type. It's not a rock type. It's crab type.
Crab type. It's crab type. Well, you guys got the points there, so you're 6 for 4. Your next question is your base stat question, as always. And this is going to come to you from Ace Trainer Nova. Which Pokemon with the Iron Fist ability has the lowest base attack?
Oh.
This is a really hard one.
It's
I love how creative the community has gotten about this, but yeah.
I feel like it's Lady Anne, or like, does Lady Ba
has iron?
It does. It's the dumbest thing to get Iron Fist.
It has to be Lady Ba. Unless there's like a baby Pokemon that gets it.
I can't think of any. The next one I could think of is like Chimchar, maybe. But that's actually like not going to be worse than Lady Anne.
No way.
And I guess the question is, does Lady Ba get it before it evolves, or does it become Iron Fist upon evolution?
Well, I honestly don't think they gave it so much thought as to make it change upon evolution. Let's put it that way.
That's fair.
I didn't even know that the Lady Ba line got Iron Fist. So.
Yeah, I know Lady Anne because it's like, I'm a superhero bug guy. Yeah. I'm this, so it might become that. That's what I'm thinking. Once it goes from just a ladybug to a superhero ladybug.
Yeah, but Lady Ba still has those like nice round fisties. So
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't think of a baby Pokemon with the ability.
Neither can I.
Yeah, I think it's a great answer.
Yeah, let's do Lady Ba then.
Lady Ba is incorrect, but it is Lady Anne, so I'm going to give it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Because Lady Ba does not get it, so I
okay, so they did put some thought into it. I mistrusted them. Yeah. I apologize.
Lady Anne has a base attack of 35.
I was going to say like
lowest. The next lowest is Paw Me with 50.
Oh, okay.
Then Chimchar at 58. Then followed by Golett at 74.
Oh yeah, Golett.
But that gives you guys.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Between Chimchar and Golett. Like, whoa.
Yeah, it just jumps.
That's 20 points.
Yeah, it just jumps. So let me go ahead and I lost it. Add you guys. I mean, I can tell you who's in first right now. It's you guys with 8 points. Both Whimsicott and Seth are tied. And then you've got Jushir and Claude tied for 3rd place with 7, and then everybody else has yet to get on the board
because we've had 2 shows this year. Yay!
All right. Well, if you want more Poke Quiz, tune in next week, and you could probably get it. Until then, we're going to kick it on over to the topic. We have another review with an indiscernible name, but 5 stars, so good. I love this podcast, and I really enjoy the top and bottom 5 types. Here's a great idea. When you run out of these topics, I think you should do a top and bottom 5 legendary Pokemon. But anyway, thanks for the great conversations, and take care. Well, I can tell you, unpronounceable name, that we are definitely planning more. And if you want to have your review read on the show, drop us a review wherever you listen to the podcast. We really appreciate it. Until next time, though, guys, we will catch you on the flip-flop. Oh, this is way too long. Welcome to the topic. Our topic today is the epilogue to the Scarlet and Violet DLC that were released this week. You can do that this week by going on Mystery Gift and getting the mysterious, or not mysterious, but the mythical Pechaberry item, so that you can unlock the epilogue.
And I guess we should mention like minor spoilers for what we're going to be discussing.
Yeah, minor spoilers. I don't know.
Because it's like 2 hours.
Probably major spoilers for the epilogue, actually.
Probably all of it.
It's 2 hours, but it's mostly text.
It is.
Yes. Also, since I was personally confused, so you get the Pechaberry from the mystery gift, then you bring it to Peachy's, but the description says, oh, the aroma of the peach will make something happen. So you stand around and nothing happens. You have to actually interact with the tiny purple plush on the display.
You do, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was confused.
The epilogue itself is very straightforward. I mean, you end up hanging out with your friends for a little bit after you initiate it. Your old friends, we get Penny, Arvin, and Nimona back. The only thing that like really struck me as odd is one, they come to your house, which I think is a very cool touch in terms of a story. But the thing that's super weird is when they like talk about how nice your mom is, and Penny's like, your mom's just so pretty.
Your mom's hot.
Yeah.
That was really weird. But
that was weird. I'm just gonna say that.
The thing I loved was when Penny was the biggest "do you have games on your phone" moment.
Yes.
It's like, oh my gosh, you have a Nintendo Switch. You got to show me what games you've got on it. And I just imagined in that moment, you know, you, the character, picking it up. Yeah, I'm playing this game called Pokemon Violet. Look at the scene that I'm at. It just creates this paradox. Infinite loop.
Yes.
Yep.
Look, it's you.
It's very, I think, I just thought it was a really, like, the character building they did for that felt very much like a celebration.
It did, yeah.
It was actually incredible.
I did like it.
For what it was, I honestly did not expect the character work that went into this epilogue, and it was fantastic. Like, there's a moment that is just simply a choice of oh gosh, what's the English word? A choice of, you know, directing, essentially the perspective from which you're shown a scene. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's this moment when everyone is talking about their parents, and then there's a moment where Arvin is like, oh, but you're lucky that, you know, your parents worry about you and had to be convinced to let you go. And then...
No, that was when Penny was talking to her dad and called him annoying, who it turns out is Peony, which is Peony, which is great.
Wow, amazing.
Did you pick up on that, Whimsicott? Because
no, I did not pick up on it being Peony.
Because Penny goes, Dad, it's not an adventor.
An adventor. Yeah, I know.
And that's something that Peony says all the time.
And it's also confirmed for sure that Penny is basically an exchange student type thing from Galar early on.
Yeah, I got that part because it's you know the British way of pronouncing it, but I didn't get that it was specifically a reference to Peony because my memory sucks. No, but like that moment, after that moment, everyone is like, okay, yay, let's go. And there's a shot that's like from Arvin's side where you can see his clenched fist.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have my complaints about Scarlet Violet in general, but I will say for sure, character and like lore as far as the people. Chef's kiss. Not one of them. Very good. Very well done. Better done than I think we've ever seen.
No, this is the best. Like, this is like, I would have argued before Gen 9, like maybe Gen 5 had some better character work, but I think this is better than Gen 5 by far. Like
these are actually people, like not.
Well, instead of just having like one N who's like a complicated character, who you actually like get tidbits about, we got like 3 of those. Or I would argue. Well, I'm gonna argue
more than 3.
I'm gonna say Kieran and Carmine are like 4. Like they make 4 together. They make 4 together.
Which 90% of that is Kieran.
Yes. And even then, I feel like Kieran's story is still like very awkward and weak.
It's very from one extreme to the other.
Yes,
we were railroaded into making him what he was. That's what happened there.
Yeah, which was not very nice.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the Blueberry, like Drayton, is very good too, though. So
yes, I love him.
Drayton is so good. Oh my gosh, I love him.
Like Drayton's very good.
He has all of the characteristics of the, you know, chill dude who's good at stuff but doesn't care about anything else, but he actually does care.
But he's secretly the smartest guy in the room and gets 98s on all his tests.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there's like, okay, it's a trope, but it's not a flat trope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I liked him.
He designed the entire thing to happen so that Kieran would be knocked down a peg by you. Like it was masterfully done.
No, the character work is done very well.
Yeah.
The way that the other characters were like, ooh, he's plotting something, but it wasn't for nefarious purposes.
Yeah.
He did it because he cared.
Yeah.
So that was very nice. I liked it. Anyway, the epilogue.
Yeah, no, the epilogue is I don't know. I like that we got the moments with the old friends, because honestly I wish there would have been more moments like that.
Agreed.
Yes.
To begin with in the DLC. Like I am really disappointed that it took until the epilogue for us to do this.
Yeah, same.
It does make sense though, because they'd have to adapt, because the other stuff you might be doing at different time points and things like that. Like you might be able to go to Kitakami if you were to start a new game tomorrow.
Oh, that's fair. That makes sense to me. I think I wonder how the perspective changes, and this is something that I kind of want to explore doing a playthrough on Twitch, like I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to experience the DLC while you were playing the game.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've honestly been tempted to buy Scarlet, number one, because I want to be able to do that and not lose everything I've done in my Violet run through.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, to help, I've started a project of making a living dex.
Yep.
That will get me there, at least a part of the way on the modern stuff. So
no, I really just wanted to try to, I kind of want to experience it from that perspective to see if my experience changes.
Agreed. Yeah.
I think doing Kitakami and Blueberry Academy like back to back just doesn't do justice to what they're trying to build.
Yeah.
But question.
Yeah.
Do the levels scale?
In Kitakami the levels scale. In Kitakami they do.
Okay, good. Good.
They scale in Kitakami. They do not scale. It's like the last gen in Gen 8 with the DLC. Isle of Armor scaled, but Crown Tundra didn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I don't even know if you can. I could be wrong here, but I know you can get to Kitakami basically immediately.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get to Blueberry immediately. I could be wrong.
I don't think you can get to Blueberry immediately.
That one might require a story point.
You have to become a champion to be able to go to Blueberry. You have to become champion.
But I think it'd be fun.
You have to be a champion and to have finished the Kitakami story.
Yes.
Yeah. And I want desperately to go through a playthrough with the item that I've just found out recently exists, which is the Diplin joke glasses. If you have not seen the Diplin joke glasses item, you can buy it in Kitakami from the mask shop.
Yeah. Buy
them, do yourself a favor, put them on, go to a serious scene. You look ridiculous.
Stop. You're just like the classic video game trope of customizable character.
But those glasses specifically, like, look them up if you haven't seen them. Oh my gosh, they're the best things ever. And I want to do a play.
It's like when you forget to take off the funny mask before you do the cutscenes for the things in Breath of the Wild.
Exactly. Exactly. Or like you're in the pink horrible things in the cutscene in Baldur's Gate. You're just like, oh, hello. Yes, this is my serious party and this court jester that follows us around.
Yeah. It's even worse in Breath of the Wild when you do the dungeons. Yeah. And there's like dramatic zoom in on Link as he remembers and you're looking at,
something ridiculous.
The premise is this Pokemon Pecharunt, which is a Peach, which follows into the Peach in the Loyal 3.
We finally got Momotaro in the Momotaro story.
It's shooting mochi at people and making them eat it to turn into zombies or something that really like
chicken dance mind control people.
Yeah, chicken dance mind control zombies. I didn't like the chicken dance. I like the idea of mind control zombies, but like the chicken dance stuff was like really bugging me.
The chicken dance was worth it just for the one joke about Arven being embarrassed about doing the chicken dance even while he was possessed.
No, my favorite thing is Nemona's still like breaking through all of it. Like Nemona's barely being
her desire to battle is breaking through.
Nemona is so hyper fixated on battles that she can essentially like work through the possession to have a Pokemon battle. It's amazing.
It's big Goku energy, and I love it.
I also love like the little scene in like right before everybody starts getting possessed, where they're like, "We gotta find the TV remote." Like that is the most like sleepover-esque situation I've ever seen.
Yes.
That was very well done, surprisingly, and it was like buried. Like what?
No, the guy hid it because he was playing the tourism video.
Uh-huh.
That was hilarious.
That was funny. It felt very like a slice of life anime episode, and then all of a sudden...
Yeah.
That's actually, honestly, now that I think about it, that's what the whole epilogue felt like, was just like a random side episode of an anime.
Yeah, that's what this is.
It was the classic episode where they go on holiday to like an onsen, and then something spooky happens.
Oh gosh, we've gotten involved in a whole bunch of hijinks. Oh no.
It was great. It was great.
Why is the town doing chicken dances everywhere?
Yeah, I don't know. I at least appreciate that we got like a mythical Pokemon with like at least a little bit of something as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about you all the time. I was like, they actually did what Thatch has been wanting for years.
No, this is literally all you need to do. Like, this is significantly better than just like, here's a Pokemon, it's gonna be in a movie.
A guy in a Pokemon Center has God to give you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
This is the kind of mythical Pokemon that I'm very much like, and it is a mythical Pokemon, which is really cool. Like, I think it's like the newest mythical Pokemon that we've received.
Yeah.
This is the way to do it. Like, I think because it's a mythical Pokemon that's like kind of quote unquote demythicalized, if that makes sense. Like at its release.
Yeah.
Exactly. From the old definition of what mythical is. Like
it's quote unquote demythicalized. I don't know how long the event runs with the download for the item, but
yeah, I really hope it's going to be like the Magearna where it's just forever.
Yeah, I think it should be.
I imagine it's going to be like indefinitely.
Yeah, I would hope so. Because it just kind of wraps the story up so nicely.
It does. As far as I really liked the characters all meeting each other. And there was the awkward moment where Arvin's trying to be like claiming you as best friend because you're literally the only other human he has in his life. Cough. And
yeah.
He's really defensive about that. And Kieran, honestly, in a moment of extreme character development for Kieran, I was talking about this with Linian offline yesterday. And, you know, Kieran's whole thing early was that he was really jealous of you bonding with Carmine all of a sudden, and the whole Ogerpon, like that whole thing, but also you just bonding with his sister immediately. So he was really defensive of your friendship.
Yeah.
Now, in this epilogue where Kieran's trying to be painted as kind of a reforged, reborn kind of character,
you're exactly
he didn't
right.
even notice Arvin being like that. So that's a development, honestly. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
It was very cute. Yeah. Also, we should say, in case someone hasn't played it through to the end yet, but if you bring Ogerpon and or the Loyal 3 to the final battle in the epilogue, you get special interactions.
Oh, I didn't think of the Loyal 3.
You do,
I didn't bring them, but I heard about it.
I do really, man, I've really liked the way that the DLC has handled quote unquote boss battles, by the way.
Where there's a health bar and then you catch them.
Where it's a health bar and then you catch them, because that's closer to like what I would imagine the Pokemon experience to be than let's take Gen 3 for instance, right? Gen 3 or just the Hoenn story where you have to fight Kyogre / Groudon at some point just to prevent them from like destroying the world, essentially a cataclysmic event. And we have to sit there and like weaken them to like 2 health and then start chucking balls at them.
Yeah.
I think the way that they do it now is much better because one is much truer to the story. Like, hey, you knocked it out. You stopped the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's your reward.
You've weakened it, finally. Now's your chance.
I mean, the Petra run is an example of that, but I think like the way they did Ogerpon, the way they did Terapagos, it was just all done so well.
Yeah, I really like it because it doesn't take away it doesn't make the story anticlimactic.
And it doesn't make part of the whole like experience of the story sitting there forever, chucking one Ultra Ball after it and keeping it alive.
That is something I don't miss in from the past Pokemon. Like that is one of the best quality of life developments has been this. Like this is I hope this keeps going on further too, because it makes you I don't know. I did also like how you had to battle Nemona then battle Pecharunt.
Yeah.
I really like that because you could go into it without healing. So it made it a little bit harder. I don't know. Like I really like when Pokemon does that. Like I still can't get over Blueberry Academy and how hard the Elite Four was.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that, and I kind of hope they keep doing that.
You actually had to think a bit.
Yeah, man, thinking in my Pokemon game,
especially if you go into Drayton and keep the Pokemon that you caught. Like if you do it that way, which is real cool.
Oh yeah, I didn't do that because
I did because I wanted the challenge. And I actually had to do him like 3 times. And I had to retrain and redo a lot of my Pokemon because I'm like, okay, this strategy did not work at all. So that was a really cool little challenge.
Yeah, those things are really cool. I really like those things. To be fair, Pokemon's kind of been trying to do that. If you've paid attention at regionals at all, Seth, to like side events,
yeah,
they do those where you have to go. You have like 30 minutes to go catch Pokemon, and you have to use this Pokemon in a tournament. Yeah, in a side event. Doesn't that sound like a blast?
That's really cool. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay.
That's a side event at some of the regionals. So like, definitely recommend that. So I think that's a cool tournament to do. Maybe we should even do something like that, like amongst staff or something. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be fun content.
You have an hour to catch something, a team of whatever.
You get this long to catch a team and you train it up.
No vitamins. Go for it. Raw base stat and whatever you fight along the way.
Yep, it'll be great.
Silly.
Yeah, it's great. I really liked the Petron story though.
Yeah, it was.
I liked having a story, if that makes sense.
It was a silly, fun little story. It didn't It didn't answer really any lore questions. It didn't really leave you anymore with a complete picture of what Scarlet Violet is. But it was a fun little story to wrap up, as y'all said, the DLC with. Not necessarily.
They make a point of saying that it's the epilogue to the hidden treasure of Area Zero, not the epilogue to the game.
yeah,
It might be the game. I don't know though.
might be the game. So there's 2 possible reasons for that. A is it's not the end of the actual game because there's something more coming, or B, it's just because you need to have bought the DLC to play it.
I see it both ways.
Yeah.
We have constantly asked Game Freak to like slow down, and I think DLC is a really low effort way to slow down.
Yeah.
Agreed.
In all honesty, I think you can make a really, really cool game. We complain about Dexit every once in a while, right? Because it fundamentally changed Pokemon. And modern Pokemon kind of makes more sense to me now. But I think you could get around a lot of that if you, instead of doing 1 year of DLC, you did 2 years of DLC.
Yeah.
You could get around a lot of that, because if you look at the number of Pokemon missing now, that's about 2 DLCs worth.
Yeah.
And you do one more DLC pack, and boy, oh boy, do we got it. I was, part of me also was just like, well, we got Scarlet, Violet, Indigo, Teal. We could get like 2 more colors in there, right? Like, that's a rainbow, 2 more colors. I think that would be interesting. I was kind of hoping for that with Switch as well, though. But they did red, blue, green, and yellow for Switch, so I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they could do it again. I'd be really into it.
Yeah, I mean, could be. I think it'd be cool.
I would be really into another couple DLCs.
Yeah. These have been fun.
Yeah, I mean, DLCs are really good, and these particularly were very good. They added a lot to the game.
They did.
It's probably over. Like, the game's probably over.
More than likely, but we'll see.
You know, in a month and a half, we'll be hyped up for Thatch is gonna go on a wild limb on February 27th and say it's something Kalos.
Okay.
Oh, everyone is saying something Unova, but you're saying something Kalos.
Something Kalos. I'm saying something Kalos. I mentioned it last week.
I'm just still... The thing that I'm most curious about is that stupid area on the map that is still...
Oh, it's never going to be
inaccessible.
That's just there to show you that that Paldea is not an island.
I know, but like, what is it? Like, it's...
Well, it's Kalos, but...
It's Kalos, but you can't go.
Yeah, but tell me, like, the world exists. The Pokemon world exists, and this map acknowledges it, in a sense. What is it? Just tell me.
They haven't done, like, an official Poke Earth, you know what I mean?
You can tell me I can't go there, but just tell me what it is. Don't just gray it out.
I think there's a chance we get something Kalos.
Yeah,
next
possible.
year. I think it's possible, just because Xerneas and Yveltal are the only 2 box art legendaries missing.
Exactly. That's what really throws me on that.
And Furfrou is in one of, like, the 10 Pokemon that's missing.
Yep.
So a Gen 5 remake doesn't fix it. It doesn't fix it.
And like you said, Reshiram, Zekrom are already here.
Yeah. I think they also gave us a celebration of Johto and I think if we get a Unova remake, it's just they should give us some kind of Gen 2 remake at the same time. just because Kitakami is so heavily based on Johto.
They did, though. It's just Kitakami and Blueberry. Those are the remakes.
I don't know that those are remakes.
Now we could go to 6 and do it correctly.
I don't know if those are the remakes or rather just homages. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I could see a world where they're just like, well, we did the homages so we could get to this X and Y remake.
We can get to the actual games where Pokemon became good.
I will tell you what. If they do skip any sort of Gen 5 thing to go to Gen 6, there will be people who get angry. And I might be one of them, although I do love Kalos.
Of course. And if they don't, there's going to be people...
There's going to be people who are angry all the time anyway.
Every time.
Yeah.
That's fair, yeah.
The sun will rise, the moon will rise, and Pokemon fans will be angry at the next thing. That is,
yes.
Those are constants.
100%. Because I guarantee you, even if there is a Gen 5 remake, people are going to complain that it's not in the style that they wanted it to be in.
Well, I'll just be angry that there's a Gen 5 remake. Like,
see?
I just think Gen 5's an awkward gen to remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about when I was a teenager and wanted to do things differently. I don't like to think of that.
Not that, but more so that Black and White is... We weren't teenagers when Black and White came out, were we?
I'm using a metaphor.
Well, I wasn't, but
I'm using a metaphor of like that was Pokemon's teenage years. I don't want to relive my teenage years.
I don't disagree, but like I just think that it's very hard to do Black and White justice without Black and White 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it explains a lot of the lore, especially like for Team Plasma and their motivations. And
yeah, I think the...
Yeah, I don't know. I think Black and White without Black and White 2 is like only 75% of the story. And only 25% of the fun.
I think the only way that you do Gen 5 justice is with, a Legends game about the original dragon.
No, like, I do think Legends games need to happen, too. I mean, we're just diving into last week's topic, which is fine, but...
Yeah, sorry.
Legends needs to happen, I think, for something. Whether it's Johto or Unova or even Hoenn, something off the wall, right? I'd be down. I do think things benefit, and this is just from the one-time experience. I do believe Arceus benefited from my experience playing Arceus. Legends Arceus benefited from me playing BDSP right beforehand.
Fair enough, yeah.
Only because I played BDSP and I go, oh yes, I remember all these locations from this old game. And then I went and played Arceus and I go, oh, this is where, this is in the modern day.
This is this location.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a lot of benefit out of that in terms of being able to see the references. And I feel like I got a little bit more out of Arceus that way. I'm kind of hoping that they do that again. The next Arceus game, we get the remake paired with the game. I think I do think that Lugia and Ho are like next on the list because they haven't gotten anything. You know what I mean? Like they haven't, like if you look at all the box art legends, they all have a thing. And Lugia and Ho don't.
Yeah.
They don't have a thing. So we got Origin Form.
Movies.
I mean, so did most of the other box art legends.
Yeah.
Also, Ho didn't actually get a movie. Unless you count I Choose You, but like...
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's its whole thing.
No. No. I don't want to believe your reality, Seth.
Of course not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious. Very curious.
Mm-hmm.
Off the wall, like my high risk, high reward bet is Kalos, something Kalos in next month. That's my high risk, high reward. I'm going to repeat this for the next 6 weeks and everybody's going to have to deal with it. So, I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to say about the epilogue or like the quote unquote end of Scarlet and Violet? I don't really have much to say other than like, I very much enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they actually like gave us an opportunity to revisit the original 3 friends from the main story.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. I really, really, really appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm on a mission to get those stupid Sinistra glasses from Carmine.
Well, have fun doing that, Seth. I think we'll wrap it up here then.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go ahead. We're going to kick it on over then to our Pokemon of the episode. We will catch you on the flip-flop.
Poke of the episode.
Welcome to our Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode this week is National Dex number 1025, Pecharunt, the Subjugation Pokemon.
What a name.
Right.
Yeah. The Pokemon Scarlet Pokédex entry for Pecharunt states, it fits others' toxic mochi that draw out desires and capabilities. Those who eat the mochi, fall under Pecharunt's control, chained to its will.
And I'll go ahead and read the Violet one too, because we might as well, since this guy's new. Its peach-shaped shell serves as storage for a potent poison. It makes poisonous mochi that serves them to people and Pokemon. That comment on the Scarlet one, though, made something click. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it just feeds things mochi. I mean, you can even look at the Blueberry Pokedex image of it too. And you can see like the Loyal 3 in the back. And
Loyal 3 in it.
Yeah,
because it obviously made the Loyal 3. And they have the cool, cute little message too for if you use the Loyal 3 against it. It gets upset because the Loyal 3 are fighting against it.
It screams at them,
It screams at them.
This is probably a lot of people already know this, but the entire group of legendaries from Kitakami, they're all based on the legend of Momotaro, the boy in the peach. And so in the legend of Momotaro, this boy who was born from a peach, it went on a journey to, defeat some ogres, and it had 3 loyal friends who were a dog, a monkey, and a pheasant. So,
okay.
In Scarlet and Violet, the ogre, the Oni, is actually the good guy, sort of. But obviously the loyal 3 and Pecharunt are on the same side, and it's very heavily implied that, it fed them those mochi, and it made the loyal 3 what they wanted to be, like stronger and smarter.
Right.
But they also got chained to Pecharunt's will and became its allies.
Yep.
So it's a full circle, finally. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's...
And I guess since they did it willingly, like, I imagine this is some kind of, like, deal with the devil.
Yeah.
Happening with this, because...
Something like that. Because they are... independent enough.
Exactly.
So they probably wanted this because they were like, oh yes, make me what I've always wanted to be.
Yeah.
But then they have to be essentially they are the loyal 3, but they're not loyal to the
they're
people.
Loyal
they're
to something.
loyal to Pecharunt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is it, this map guy that we were looking at, that it says things like Okie Doggy was once a smaller and weaker Pokemon, but a desire for strength.
I think that's its Pokedex entry. Is it?
Yeah, it's similar. It's similar.
It's very similar to its Pokedex entry, if not its Pokedex entry.
The Pokedex says something like the chain made it stronger, and for Monkidori, it says the chain made it smarter.
Okay. It's tying all it together once you look at all the lore pieces.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
This is cool.
Exactly.
This is actually really cool to look into. And like the malignant chain attack that it uses is straight up the chains on the Loyal 3.
Exactly. Cool. It looks exactly the same.
I also love just what it is in general, and the fact that they went with poison type for it, because like peach pits are notorious for containing things like, what is it, cyanide? They're
toxic.
And they're related to the almond family, which if something tastes like a bitter almond, that is indicative of it being like a poison. So that was a very good choice. Scientifically.
I just like that lately they've been giving us really interesting mythical and legendary Pokemon types instead of just like here's a dragon.
And they all make sense with the story. Because when you think about it, you were like, but why are those 3 legendary Pokemon poison types? And the reason is that the chain from Pecharunt is what made them legendaries. And the reason they have their ability is that they have the chain on them. So they poison you by touching them the same way that the move poisons you.
The move does. Yeah, exactly.
It's great. It's fantastic.
It's such a good thematic group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like one of the most put together thematic trio quadruple.
Well, it feels like a deeper version of the Musketeers to some extent, right?
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Yeah, it feels slightly. I mean, it's cool. It's as if you took the legendary dogs and how they got created by Ho-Oh, and added it to
and put substance to it.
Well, and then you like added in also like the Three Musketeers to some extent, right? Because you have the one mythical Pokemon that created all of them. There's a fourth Pokemon that's a mythical that goes with the trio, just like Keldeo. But then you also have that Pokemon created the other ones, but it's also kind of evil, maybe.
This is
if by evil you mean feeds them mochi that makes them do the chicken dance. Like, it's just a very interesting Pokemon. I also love its base stat spread. Actually, I don't understand.
It's funny.
Is there like a reason?
There's something to do.
What does 88 have something to do with something? I was just curious.
I was reading something. It has something to do with something in Buddhism.
Okay.
Something like that. It also mirrors the HP stat across the loyal three. All four of them have 88 HP.
Okay. I was just curious.
I was just curious. With 88, people who are much smarter than me in knowledge and like religious things of that nature.
Yeah.
There's something there. I just can't find it.
So for everybody else who doesn't know, all of the stats are 88 with the exception of defense, which is at 160, which still gives it the mythical base stat total of 600.
And before you ask, no, it doesn't get body press.
No. Honestly, its move pool is kind of shallow.
Really, yeah.
I do love that Gengar is the Gengar line is no longer the only ones of that type anymore. We got a poison ghost type. Malignant Chain is such a really cool move that it got, which is 100 accuracy, 100 base power poison move, which also has a 50% chance to toxic poison.
Nuts. And its ability, if you all don't know the ability on Pecharunt, it's Poison Puppeteer, which is very thematically appropriate. And it reads, when a Pokemon is poisoned by any of Pecharunt's moves, it will also become confused. It doesn't activate if the user's not Pecharunt or if if skill swap fails or whatever. If the Pokemon's poisoned by something like Toxic Spikes, even I guess if it's set by Pecharunt, I don't know if it gets it, but it does not activate it. It has to be poisoned by a move. So Malignant Chain and Poison Puppeteer go hand in hand.
I love it.
Yep.
It also gets Hex, which is stab.
Yeah.
Because it's a ghost poison. So perfect.
Yeah.
It's got a really shallow move pool, but it's got exactly the moves that it needs. Like Recover, Malignant, Hex, and then Parting Shot. That's all you need, ever.
By the way, I was very satisfied by the fact that like I went into the battle with Pecharunt, and it was like obvious which type it was going to be based on the story.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's very well integrated.
Where the first two people send out two poison types, and then someone else later sends out two ghost
I didn't
types.
even think about that.
Yeah.
I thought about the fact that, it feeds you something that is purple and makes you act weird, and then it controls you and it hides, and there's weird purple wisps around the people possessed, and I'm like, oh, it possesses people. It's a ghost. It does so with contaminated food. It's a poison type.
Yeah, it's very broadcast on just behavior. But also, I noticed it. I knew what Pecharunt was going in, and the first two people send out an Ariados and an Arbok or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
The poison, and then people later send out two ghosts, and it's like, oh, okay.
See, I didn't even think about the Pokemon that were used. There were different clues.
I did think it was really cool. You got to fight the grandma and the grandpa.
Right.
And you finally find out their names.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I really liked that.
It was really cute.
I'm like, well, that's a really nice little detail. But yeah, Pecharunt looks fun. I mean, I'm excited to see if it gets a TCG card. I mean, it will, but
it will.
Yeah.
It'll be
in like a year.
Maybe watch it be something stupid where it's like a bench sitter that adds 10 damage to poison or something stupid.
I could see it being that. Well, because Rotation F is coming, so Radiant Sneasler gets booted, right? So
I don't think it does. I don't think we lose any Radiance.
No, not this rotation. The rotation after this. The rotation after this we do.
Yeah, next year.
No, all the Radiants are F block right now. All the Radiants are F block.
Yeah.
They're such a cool hollow pattern too. That's gonna be sad to see them go.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah,
what other trivia things are on here?
There's no other trivia things. We talked about them all.
I want to use this thing in something because it's just fun.
Oh, I mean, I think you could use it in whatever tier Smogon decides it falls in.
It'll probably be UU at this point.
UU sounds right. UU sounds right.
Because with a base 600 and that defensive stat line, that is a monster.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got just, like I was saying, it's got just the 4 moves that you'd ever want on it. Like,
yep.
I can't even think of a move I'd want to give this thing. It's got, other than body press, maybe, but even then, like, meh, it's fine.
It'll be fine. I think it's going to have one job, and it's just going to do it well.
Yeah. Be an annoying poison thing and pivot out with parting shot.
Mm-hmm.
I could see parting shot / body press. That would be the extent of, because like, what do you want to switch into a poison type? A steel type. What do you want to switch into a ghost type? A dark type.
Well, there's going to be no body press, but you could just Terra fighting though and Terra Blast, right?
You could, yeah. But I mean, like in general, in Gen 10 when we lose terrestrialization as an entire thing.
Oh, then we don't have to worry about any of these Pokemon.
Or like we learned that terrestrializing actually inflicts terrible pain on the Pokemon or something stupid like that.
Terrestrialization is probably like the second best mechanic, or like 1.5 best mechanic
of
them all. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think, I kind of want to wrap up the segment here because I don't know that we have much else to say. So
I like the little guy. I want to use the little guy. He's fun.
Let us know if you use him. We'd love to see any teams you guys come up with it. Or anything else. Art? You got any art of him? Put it in the Discord server.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is going to be it for our Pokemon of the episode. We're going to kick it on over to our mailbag. So let's go do that.
It's mail time! Send in your emails! Mail!
Welcome to our mailbag. The mailbag is the part of the show where we read your emails on the podcast. You send them in to us at puclpodcast@gmail.com, and we get them a read over here. So we typically have a question. Last week we asked you guys what you guys predict for 2024 coming from the Pokemon Company. Additionally, this segment is always brought to you by the fictional energy drink Green Toros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hooves! Yeah!
That was the best one in a while.
Yeah!
We'll give the Green Taurus badge on the Discord server to anybody we deem worthy for giving us a good conversation or anything else. So without further to do, let's go ahead to read these emails. This first one is going to be from Tony. I believe Seth's got that one.
Alrighty, that one's me. It starts off. Hi, Puckle Crew, long-time listener and first-time writing in. My current prediction for Pokemon in 2024 are the following. 1. Virtual Console ports to the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance of Gen 1, Red and Blue. Okay. Item 2.
I hope so.
I wish.
Gen 2, Gold Sapphire, and Gen 3 as a separate app to allow communication with Pokemon Home. Oh, that's, pardon me, item 2. Red, Blue, Gold, Silver. There were lines when I wasn't expecting it. So, Virtual Console ports to the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance of Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3. That's one sentence. Got it. As a separate app to allow for communication with Home and finally bridge the gap from Gen 1, 2, and 3. So that's one of the items as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
My apologies that I read that weird. Anyway, item 2, remakes for Black and White. This will be done by Ilka and being improved from the previous remake's attempts. These will definitely be another faithful remake. As much of this as has been widely planned by the community, allowing for easier access to the Gen 5 games is much needed, especially when you account for Pokemon Bank's eventual closing.
I don't disagree with this argument. Like, I think there needs to be something to be done about the Gen 5 games in general, just with the prices, right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
The prices are insane. I argue this also for some Gen 4 games as well, like Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the point about, like, bridging the gap between the bank closing...
That is important, too.
Transporter closing is the biggest argument for that.
For a Kalos remake, you're correct.
For a Kalos remake where you suddenly get all the Unova Pokemon. Yes.
All of the Unova Pokemon that are missing right now from Switch titles are actually in X and Y. Fun fact.
Yep. So they're here.
Very fun fact, actually, yeah.
Fun fact, all the Nova Pokemon that are missing are all available in X and Y.
Yay. But anyway, they go on. I do not think that we will see any other main series games, as this is rumored to be the last year of the current Switch system. These are a bit more tame than most, but I'm still hopeful for Stadium 3, as it could be used for major tournaments for a better competitor and viewer experience. Until next time, Tony.
Yeah.
That would be cool, actually.
Yeah.
That would be such a neat little thing.
I just don't see the financial incentive for Nintendo to do it. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
Because one, like, I think it would sell. Like, I don't disagree. It would totally sell.
It would sell, but would it be used?
Well, my worry, if I am a person in a company that is meant to make money,
yep.
My thought immediately goes to, well, let's say we have like a Pokemon Stadium 3 that connects to Pokemon Home.
Mm-hmm.
What incentivizes that person to buy our new game?
Yeah.
If we're using this for competitions, that's what I think, right? Like that's my.
And if you're using it for competition, do you need to buy the game?
Yeah.
Or do you just transport your Pokemon to that competition's thing? Like,
yeah.
Talk about pay to win, pay to even play after you've bought the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Be cool though.
We just want mini
I don't
games.
know.
You know this.
That's true.
And maybe like a battle like a facility, essentially. Like that's what we want.
Yeah.
Is that it? Did we finish this?
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Oh,
Until next time, Tony.
Sorry, Tony.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Tony. All right. We have another email then from TwoCrow48.
Yep, I've got this one. Hello, Puckle Crew. I'm very curious as to what Pokemon decides to do this year. Personally, I don't see another Legends happening until at least 2025, simply because I don't think Nintendo expected Legends Arceus to be as loved as it is. This is actually
that's a good point.
Reasonable point, yes.
The only thing is, like, it's still, most Pokemon games are developed for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one came out January 2022. Right now, we're sitting on the 2-year mark of that game's anniversary. So, like, this is kind of enough time for them just to have done it, like, as a reaction.
Yeah, so they could theoretically pull off, like, a holidays release for a Legends game. Yeah, it would be almost 3 years. They seem to plan out their games in advance, and I truly don't believe a second Legends game was in their plans. So if another is to be made, Nintendo is most likely still in the early stages.
I disagree. After 2 years, I disagree.
They might have, taken temperature on the reaction for the first 6 months or whatever and let it kind of...
There's been a lot of weird development times for Pokemon lately.
For sure, yeah.
If you look at BDSP actually only had 1.5 years of development time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're still feeling the ripples of COVID, like, to be honest.
No, you're absolutely correct. So I think you could pull off a Legends game. I don't know that it would happen. Like, if by 2025 you mean January 2025 for a Legends game, I could believe that.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I could believe them doing the same thing that they did last time. I also, like, if quoting sales numbers for Legends is also, I think, kind of awkward a lot of the time. Just because it's not comparing apples to apples with BDSP exactly for a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So one, BDSP has 2 versions, so it's going to just sell better. 2, BDSP was also like the Christmas game.
Yeah.
And you know what came out after Christmas when people usually don't spend money on video games? It was Legends Arceus.
Exactly.
Yep.
And Legends Arceus, like, knocked it out of the park on that for a January, like, entertainment genre type deal.
Yeah.
Because January is typically the time of year when there's just nothing new in the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
Look at movie theaters in January and tell me what movie you actually want to see. The answer is probably not any of them that are mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
So, because movie theaters typically don't do it, the entertainment industry in general just doesn't put out their best stuff in January because they've kind of just, like, blown everything they already had around Christmas.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm actually, if you look at the sales numbers, with Legends Arceus only being like a couple million copies behind BDSP, I think that's incredibly impressive.
Yeah, very much so.
The email goes on to say, I expect a 1-2 punch this year where we get an announcement of Black and White remakes sometime in the middle of the year, as well as Black to White 2 remakes at the end of either this year or early next year. Imagine the holiday sales of selling Black and White and Black and White 2 bundled together. My bold prediction? 2025 will see the release of Legends Kyurem and Black 3 White 3, while Gen 10 will be held off until 2026. This way, we get the Gen 10 anniversary during the 30th anniversary. Take care, TwoCrow48.
That's fair.
I don't disagree with, like, offsetting us a year so that we get the 10th gen on the 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
Like, I really kind of hope that's the case.
It's better than the opposite, where they didn't do Z so they'd have it land on the 25th.
Yeah, where they sped it up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be very easy for them to just go ahead and like, that's why I think there might be like a chance for more DLC.
Yeah.
Like, there's like a fractional chance in my mind just because it's like, oh, here's another year for DLC. And then we get something stupid or crazy next year.
Look, you can go to a specific, like, subsection of Unova with land. Woo! There's your Gen 5 remake. Ha ha ha.
Oh, wait, you can go to the Crown Tundra again.
Oh, look, En's king again. Here he is.
Here's 2 more region references, right? Like, here, you're going to Galar in this third area that nobody knew about.
Oh, wow. The area of the map that's finally ungrayed. Wow.
And then, oh man, you go to Kalos now, or Hoenn.
Oh look, now we're going to Gen 10, which is totally not Italy or whatever.
I don't know if it's gonna be Europe. They just did Europe like a lot recently, but
yeah,
I would love to see something completely off the walls.
Yeah.
Well, we'd have to like see where they've been traveling.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if like China was on the menu.
I would not be surprised by that either.
Based on how they've been trying to get into the Chinese market.
Yeah, with like new translations in different Chinese languages have been a big thing that they've been pushing. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Two Crow. All right, I get this last one from Alex. Hey, Puckle Peeps. 2024 is shaping up to be an interesting year for me, and I hope that it's treating you all well. Here are my predictions. The epilogue has 2 parts, the past and the future. Unfortunately, that wasn't true. That's not true, but that would have been cool. In the past, explains AZ's doomsday machine to save his Meloetta. It wasn't a Meloetta, it was a Floette, right? He wasn't saving a Meloetta. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. Unless that's some anime or comic I don't know.
I don't think so.
Maybe he had both. I don't know.
No, he did not. As far as I'm aware, he had like a Floette and a Torkoal and something else.
Oh yeah.
I have heard a theory where the machine is what caused the Great Crater in Paldea.
Uh-huh.
I have heard that as well. That would make sense if Game Freak does just skip Gen 5 remakes and go straight to Gen 6.
Ha ha.
Yeah, aha, but that might be right. For the future, I imagine a scene of countless Paradox Pokemon rampaging across Paldea, crystallizing everything in their path. I realize that this is unlikely, but Pokemon Go skipping Gen 8 to release Gen 9 Pokemon makes me realize that they will do whatever it takes to make money or stay relevant.
That's so fair.
That is the correct analysis of that situation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not that I don't think Pokemon would fade into black if they didn't make a change to a low player game. Speaking of, I don't think Pokemon Go is low player, but
no.
Yeah.
I definitely think they might be bleeding players. I don't know what the rate is, but
yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of low player games, I predict a spin-off game will be released that is hyped for a week and then turns into Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX. I barely knew her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's potential. I don't know. I love Pokemon spin-off games because they're like really hyped for a month and everybody's really into them. Like a good spin-off game.
Man, guys, remember New Pokemon Snap?
I do. I love that game. That game is so good.
I loved it too for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I forgot that I had it.
I love that game though. I love Pokemon Snap.
Honestly, it was like that for BDSP for me. I still haven't finished it.
I rushed through BDSP because I was doing like a Nuzlocke with some people, and that was actually a really good time. That I really enjoyed that, and so like I rushed through it, and I had a really good time because I got to experience the gym leaders and like all of the challenges they had. Like I think BDSP, for all the crowd that people give it, is actually one of the better Pokemon games that we've had.
In general, yeah. When you compare to other things, it becomes iffy, but it's a good game by itself for sure.
It's one of the better Pokemon games. Like in battle, like it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The changes that they were allowed to make, I assume like Papa Game Freak was like looking over Ilka's shoulders the entire time. The changes they were allowed to make were a lot to the gym leader teams, gym leader teams in Gen 4 were some of the most interesting teams that we've had in a very long time. Like we really gushed about last week or the week before when we were talking about the DLC review for Blueberry Academy. We were really gushing about how the fairy type Elite Four member, I forget her name off the top of my head, how she used more than one non-fairy type Pokemon.
Yeah.
And how exciting that was. I'm like, I just don't know if anybody remembers Gen 4 and how that was kind of the norm. And
yeah, Gen 4 had a fire-type specialist.
Yes.
With 2 fire-type Pokemon in the Pokedex.
Yeah.
With 2 fire types available. That was just the norm, though. Like, even for the gym leader teams. one of the main members of Volkner's team in Diamond and Pearl is an Octillery.
I mean, we've had this since Gen 1. Look at Agatha.
Agatha, I don't know whether or not to just call Agatha a poison type specialist.
What with all her ghosts?
Right?
I think she's much more just like, but this has been a lot of fun actually for like Diamond and Pearl, and then they actually made the teams very challenging in BDSP. Mm-hmm. So I will defend BDSP. I do not think it's a terrible game at all. I think if you've played Gen 4 before, it's not as exciting. You do have to also remember that Gen 4 originally came out 15 years before those games as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was a long, like, there are children, there are teenagers that existed that did not play that game probably.
Yeah.
So it's just something to keep in mind, in perspective. Like, maybe we didn't enjoy it, but I think other people might have. It's kind of the same way I feel when they rerun events in Pokemon Go and the Pokemon Go community complains that it's like, oh, not this one again. I'm like, do you guys just not care about new players?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like that's kind of like introspective on myself. When like we were initially reacting to BDSP being a quote unquote faithful remake. I think at this point there's probably value in being a faithful remake.
Yeah, with these like kinds of times in between.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that like it's not like you can pick it up on a virtual console somewhere. You have to like suppose you get I don't know, a Nintendo Switch for Christmas and you play Sword and Shield and you're like, wow, I'm really into Pokemon. I want to play all the games that have existed so far. You have to get a 3DS and you have to find a used cartridge that is original and doesn't cost an arm and a leg. It's not obvious, you know?
This is why I think they should just put it on Nintendo Switch Online. I'm kind of hoping, especially since it's been about a year since we've been able to buy Red and Blue now on Virtual Console. Like, I think it's about time.
Yeah.
For sure.
That would be a pretty hype announcement, actually, for Pokemon Day.
Oh, yes.
It's just like Red, Blue, Gold, Silver, and then even like Gen 3.
Everyone's here.
It's not going to be everyone's here, but like up to Gen 3 on Virtual Console, I think would be pretty hype.
Right, yeah.
It'd be pretty hype. Because I'm sure they've got trading figured out on that and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'm done there. I don't know. We kind of just went on tangents for everybody's emails, so I apologize. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
Thank you for that email. Who do we give the Green Taurus badge to?
Ooh.
Good question.
I don't know. I think they were all like equally good.
Yeah, they all had like good ideas.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, all three? Yes, maybe?
Yeah, sure. All three. Yeah.
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 Yeah, Tony, you get it. You know, Two Crow, you get it. And Alex, you get it as well. Just let us know on the Discord and you can get that Green Taurus badge.
Woo!
On that note, though, if you want to email us next week and let us know what you thought of the epilogue, send that into puclpodcast@gmail.com. You can keep up with us throughout the week at pucldiscord.com on our Discord server, where we chit and chat about Pokemans all day long. You can also follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and more, wherever social media is sold. You can also go ahead and check us out at YouTube, youtube.com/puclpodcast, and I stream on Wednesdays at twitch.tv/thepuclpodcast. This week, we're probably going to do some more VGC laddering, just because you guys seem to like that. So, and I don't hate it, so we'll keep doing it. Additionally, if you want to help support the show, there's a couple ways you can do it. First, you could go to trollandtoad.com if you're addicted to cardboard like myself and Seth. Paldean Fates is coming out soon, so you can get some product over there.
Yeah.
You can get a 5% discount using code PucklePod5 at checkout. Additionally, you can go to Patreon at patreon.com/PucklePodcast, where we've just redone all the tiers. We're actually going to have merch again through Patreon.
Woo! Nice.
So please check that out. Yeah, I know. It's the only way to get Puckle merch right now is through Patreon. We might open a store eventually, but if we do, it might not offer the same things you're going to get through Patreon.
Yeah, one step at a time. We're getting back into it.
Yeah, the cooler stuff is going to be on Patreon, like 1,000%.
Yeah.
Because the patrons are going to get some feedback on it and be able to tell us what they want to see from it. So it's going to be crafted for you guys. So you guys can go over there and join it. We also have extra shows over there every month, so be sure to check it out over there. I think that's everything. Yeah, no, that's my spiel. I'm done. Mm-hmm. We appreciate every support you can get, but even just listening to the show is support enough. So I have been Trainer Thatch.
I have been the Fluffiest Whimsicott.
And I've been Seth Vilo.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.